you ready for some awesome breakdowns with Scott and Sean? It's time for 6 Minute Abs. Step into my office. Let's go! What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of 6 Minute Abs. Awesome breakdowns with Scott and Sean. We're here to talk about Charlie Squad 5 today. Scott, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
All right. In the one hole, we got Joey S87. Started off with best player in football, Josh Allen. Came back with Drake London and Brock Bowers. The problem here, if you look through his draft, is I would have liked to seen him grab a quarterback there instead of either London or Bowers. And then look who he could have got in round 6. Instead of Fernando Mendoza, he could have picked up Devontae Adams, which would have been an awesome pick right there. So that's the only problem I see with this team going forward. I think it may hurt him down the road.
All right, picking in the 2 hole was myself. I took Bijan Robinson at the 2 spot because I'm liking to attack the running backs early this year. Malik Neighbors dropped all the way to me at 211, which I found just shocking. Be able to get Malik Neighbors and Caleb Williams on the turn to me was a birthday present. I loved it. Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love filled out my quarterback room. I went back to the receiving well from there with Rome Odunze, Devontae Adams. Wanted to make sure I stacked my quarterbacks. Aronde Gadsden, Dalton Schultz are 2 guys I'm targeting late in drafts a lot. Woody Marks looked a lot better when I took him. Now that the trade, it's not as great. I like Bashal Tutin, though. I think that's going to help a lot. J.K. Dobbins, those depth receivers or those depth guys were there to help me kind of fill up that void that I made with Marks. So otherwise, I think it's not my favorite team, but it's one of my teams that I'm happy with.
Sitting at the 103, we got K-Doggy Dog. And you know what? This is one of my favorite teams. Quarterback room, check. Burrow, Lawrence, Daniel Jones. Hero RB, James Cook, check. Receiving room, McMillan, Flowers, Watson, Quentin Johnson, Coker, pretty good. And Kyle Pitts, one of the number 1 tight ends. So I really like this team a lot. My wild card is Christian Watson. Can this guy be a true number 1 and not mess around with these injuries anymore? If he can, I look for K-Doggy Dog and this team to be up there in one of the top 3.
In the 4 spot, we had B. Drake 86. He took Puka Nacua to start out his draft. Ashton Janty fell to him at 2-9, so he swooped him up there. Dak Prescott was his first quarterback off the board at 3-4. He followed that up with a Cam Ward pick at 7-4, so his quarterback room is slightly suspect when it comes to the depth, but every other position he thought he did pretty well with. Ashton Janty, Javonte Williams, Jalen Warren, Jakrowski Merritt, I think are all solid picks at the time he got them. Puka, Higgins, Lemon, Pierce as his receiving room I like a lot, and Laporta as his tight end I think is a great pickup at that point. Laporta is one of the guys to me that's going to be a big steal. Not having anybody other than Carson Beck and Green as your backups is a little suspicious on the quarterback room, which is why I probably keep him out of the top echelons of teams. I do like it, though, otherwise.
We have Tomcat at the 1-5. Besides a third quarterback, really like this build. You got Gibbs and Henry, true workhorse backs. And look at this receiving room. Lamb, Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman all the way down in the 11th round, and Xavier Worthy in the 13th round. Come on, guys. Really? Kittle and Juwan Johnson, pretty nice tight end room. So I really like this team a lot. I expect Tomcat to be up in the top 3 or 4 teams at the end of the year.
In the 6th hole, we had Pureblood 39. I believe this might have been his first draft with us. Welcome on, Pureblood. Jamar Chase and Devon Achane to start it out, followed up by Chris Olave, who I felt like was just a little early. I would have probably taken Nico Collins over Olave personally myself. But he did come back and take his first quarterback in Goff, who I thought was a good quarterback to have waiting for you at 4-7. Come back around and get his second running back and fill out his running back room. He added Walker there, and then he came back later on for Tyrone Tracy. So it's a solid, decent start to his running back room. I'd be a little concerned about some depth issues there. His tight end at 8-7, have Ferguson fall to him like he did, I think is a good pickup there. And, Olave after that, he took McLaurin, Evans, and Shakir, I think all solid picks at that point in time. Having Jared Goff and Sam Darnold as your 2 quarterbacks, and then Tua Tagovailoa, who I think might have a shot at being a backup this year and not a starter. That's a little sus. Otherwise, I think it's a really solid team.
All right, the 1-7, we got Aberchak, 89. He started off. He's got three decent quarterbacks if Rodgers plays with Mayfield, Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. But what really gets me here is this tight end room. I love Brandon Strange, but look where Dalton Kincaid went in the 11th round. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? The receiving room with Jefferson, McConkey, and now Luther Burton, who gets a bump. And then the running back room with Barkley, Etienne, and Ramondre Stevenson. I don't think this is a bad build at all. I mean, he got a little crazy in the end there with some rookies and stuff, but not sure if it has the juice to get to the top 2, but he'll definitely be in the running towards the end.
In the 1-8 spot, we had, like we mentioned earlier, in almost every league, Jimmy Wojo. He started out by taking Drake May, which Drake May to fall to 1-8 is a little surprising in a super flex just in general. But he got Drake May, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix to kind of start out his quarterback rooms. And then he came back with some really good picks with Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, and Travion Henderson. I thought were great picks at the time he got them. And to wait until 6-5 and get Marvin Harrison, DK Metcalf, Brian Thomas, and Parnell Washington as your receiving core, I think that is a steal and a half right there. So he did a really good job getting those guys. His tight end room is where I'm concerned. Travis Kelce, we all know, might not even play. And then David Njoku, who is currently not on a team. He will be, but will he have the type of role? We don't know. So that's the one area that I feel like he might have let the ball slip just a little bit. Otherwise, I think his team is really solid. And even with that one downfall, I do think he'll still be in the top 5.
Coming in at 1-9, we got ML Weldon 1. I'm noticing his drafts are getting a little bit better, so maybe he's learning as the drafts go on. He did start off with JSN and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Great start. The one thing I did not like was I don't like drafting running backs early. I don't care who they are. I'm not drafting Jeremiah Love over Marion Hampton or Chris Brown at that point. So, but the receiving room, like I said, is really good. I think it's a strong point. And for someone to wait on their quarterbacks, like Weldon usually does, it didn't really hurt him, I think, too bad. He did get shook, Bryce Young, and then Jacoby Brissett, if he keeps that job, should be really good. I just think that the team just doesn't have enough in the running back room and going forward at the end. But I think it's the team getting a lot better the more I see Weldon draft.
And sitting here in the 110 spot, this is my co-host, Scott Run, the Hurry Up Fitzgerald. He started out like he always does with 2 quarterbacks, Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels, that I think are good quarterbacks to take at that point in the draft. Nico Collins, George Pickens, A.J. Brown was really annoying for me to see him be able to snag those 3 receivers in a row like that. I did not like seeing that in a league that I'm competing with him in. C.J. Stroud would be in there for him as his 3rd quarterback. I think locks down his quarterback room, so he doesn't have to be concerned about that at all. And then Quinshon Judkins being your hero RB, because Pollard and Hubbard are both kind of question marky. I think that's the only area that I see a little bit of weakness. When Tucker Kraft and Dallas Goedert, TJ Hawkinson, I think are all great guys to have in your tight end room. So other than that, one little hiccup when it comes to the running backs, I do think that this is going to be one of the top teams in the league.
Coming in at 111, we got Hopscotch Daisy, and like we usually see in some of these drafts, Trey McBride sneaks into the first round. So I actually don't mind this build, except she just let the quarterback room go, and this is going to be her downfall. But I mean, the start's not bad with McBride and Fannin, who I love, and then the 3 running backs in McCaffrey, Hampton, and Brown are really nice. But at that point, sometimes you got to put your foot down. And even though there's really good players at the receiver and running back position that get to you, you cannot ignore the cornerback position, which I think is the most important position in fantasy. And this could come back to haunt her for a team that wants to compete for the top 2 spots.
And rounding out the last spot on this draft board, we have our buddy Possibly Soap, and he started out with Herbert Dart. I think those are 2 great picks, especially where he got him. That's a steal in my opinion. And then to come back and get the next 2 tight ends on the board, Loveland and Warren, like he did, that kind of added a little bit of hesitance, a little bit of urgency for everybody else in the league to get some tight end love on their team. Emeka Ibuka, Jameson Williams, Boston, Concepcion, and Addison, I think are a lot of good running backs there. Wide receivers there. The reason I'm saying running back so much is because I don't like the running back room. So you got Coleman and Price and Johnson. I mean, does any of them even have a photo? No, because they're not even in the NFL yet. So that's the one area that scares me on this team. I think he did a great job, and then he just started to go too rookie happy in the middle. So that was our show for this one, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. We're bleeding over a little bit because these teams are so much fun to talk about. We hope you guys enjoy the show and you like and subscribe to the channel. Help us get to where we can start helping the vets. 500 is our goal. We get there, we can start super chatting, and we can start giving that money right to those vets that need it. So thanks a lot again, guys. We love you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Let's go! Thanks for watching 6 Minute Ads. Please like and subscribe to Sudden Death Fantasy Sports.
Let's go!